afterbirth.
Did House of the Dragon give us answers to an ancient mystery from the Iron Islands and the High Tower in Episode 8? In the episode titled Lord of the Tides, Daemon Targaryen went in search of a freshly laid clutch of eggs in the volcanic caves of Dragonstone. Syrax was reported to have laid these eggs, and Daemon found a coagulated black mass warming them as an incubator. Daemon had to strike at this hardened lump of afterbirth with a prospector's hammer to crack it open and find the precious eggs steaming hot inside. He discovered 3 eggs within, but it's not the eggs I'm here to discuss. It is the black mass of hardened material that incubated the eggs. This hardened mass looks like a stone on the outside, and Daemon had to take a pointed hammer to it in order to break through its hard outer layer. Before striking it, he wipes away some of the ash and dust, revealing a shiny, oily, black stone. Now for book readers and A Song of Ice and Fire theory enthusiasts, the oily black stone is nothing new. There have been examples of this around the known world in various places, but where it comes from or what it is unclear. In Yin, there is a city built entirely of these stones, said to be a place of evil. The Bloodstone Emperor worshipped an oily black stone which fell from the sky. But most well known is the Salt Throne of the Iron Islands in Westeros. The king of the Ironborn sits upon the sea stone chair, which is carved into the shape of a giant kraken and made of an oily black stone. In House of the Dragon, showing this oily black stone as an incubator for dragon eggs, it creates many more breadcrumbs to follow for the answers of this ancient, mysterious stone from around the known world. So today, join me in taking a deeper look at what the source of the sea stone chair is and how this may prove the existence of dragons in Westeros prior to the Valyrian freehold. Hello friends, welcome back to Faefire. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more on House of the Dragon and many other great shows and stories. Now let's get into it. So the Ironborn live on the western shores of Westeros and live the Reaver's lifestyle. Some believe the Ironborn are first men, but many of the Ironborn believe they come from the sea. They follow the drowned god, who lives beneath the waves, and their drowned priests commune with him in near-death drowning experiences. They honor their own beliefs, not those of the Faith of the Seven or the Old Gods. The Greyjoys have ruled the Iron Islands since Aegon's conquest and have sat upon the sea stone chair since that time. However, it is unclear if the old king sat upon the chair as the ruling throne. The large, black, oily stone was found on the shores of the Iron Islands by the First Men. The Ironborn are descended from the Grey King, who was said to have slain the sea dragon Naga. It is said the drowned god turned her giant bones to stone, and this they used to frame a great hall named for the dragon, which was warmed by Naga's living fire. When the Grey King grew very old, he walked into the sea to sit beside the drowned god, who snuffed out the fires of Naga's hall, leaving only her stony bones behind as evidence of the sea dragon. Well, perhaps not the only evidence. The general consensus is that the bones were actually that of a leviathan, which seems more fitting with the theme of the seafaring Ironborn. Often myth becomes intertwined with legend, but even Westerosi sea dragons in the Iron Islands seem a bit far-fetched to your average reader of A Song of Ice and Fire. The Ironborn historically chose their king by a kingsmoot, though at a certain point the event pretty much became an invitation to a bloodbath. Eventually the seat passed through the male line, and leading up to Aegon's conquest, it was held by Harren of House Hor, known as Harren the Black. Now he ruled over the Iron Islands and the Riverlands, and Harren had embarked upon building the largest and most intimidating castle in Westeros, right on the shores of the magical God's Eye. He enslaved thousands to build for him, beggaring the river lords, and was known for his cruelty. The day Harrenhal was finished was the day Aegon began his conquest. Harren the Black stood up to Aegon and Balerion the Black Dread, rather than bending the knee. He believed himself safe behind his massive stone walls, telling Aegon that stone does not burn. No, it does not, but wood, food stores, and people do, and Balerion torched anything and everything his fires could reach. Harren the Black's line was extinguished that day, and the sea stone chair from then on was sat upon by the Greyjoys, a smaller house from pike. So what we can gather about the Ironborn is that they are a seafaring people who conquered a fearsome sea dragon, whose people believe they descend from the sea itself, and their rulers sit upon a great sea stone chair, carved of an oily black stone discovered by the first men. Which, we must ask, if they were the first men, how did this gigantic mystery stone end up on their beach? Seeing the oily black incubating mass that Daemon retrieves dragon's eggs from within, we are given some answers to the origins of this stone. If this mass petrifies or hardens into stone, as we see it begin to do in order to protect the precious eggs within, then is the sea stone chair actually a petrified mass of dragon egg afterbirth?
The afterbirth!
And if the Grey King slayed the great sea dragon Naga, and her bones were worshipped and honored, then are the origins of the Ironborn people actually that of a dragon culture, like the Targaryens and the ancient Valyrians? Here's where the difference lies. The Targaryens believe they come from dragons, like the Ironborn believe they come from the sea. The Targaryens bred and tamed dragons, while the Ironborn slew them. The Ironborn are also conquerors. They reave by sea, conquering great beasts and the natural elements. The Grey King cut down weirwood trees and made them into reaving ships. So we can see they twist the beliefs of the old gods, and they use the powerful symbols of these gods to mock their followers. We see many attributes of the old Ironborn kings in the current A Song of Ice and Fire story in Euron Greyjoy. He seems to be reenacting the legends of the old kings in effort to be a great Ironborn conqueror. Who knows what he may have seen in his own dreams and visions, but in the show Game of Thrones, we know he does repeat the mighty actions of the Grey King when he also slays a dragon over the open seas. Harren the Black may have also had the ability to dragon dream, or perhaps through his close proximity to the God's Eye and his first men blood, he had the gift of foresight. Either way, he saw Aegon coming. This is what inspired him to make it his life's work to build the great castle of Harrenhal, believing he could wield stone against fire and protect himself from the dragon's coming. The Ironborn are dragon slayers, and Harren would maintain the legacy of his forefathers. I don't believe that Aegon ever planned to negotiate with this man and knew he'd have to kill him. Before his conquest, Aegon had flown the entirety of Westeros and had seen it all from the north to Dorne and everywhere in between. He may have seen the old bones of Naga and learned the legacy of these Ironborn dragon slayers. With the resistance Harren put up to the Targaryen rule, Aegon knew he must tempt the dragon slayers to fight fire, but they learned the strength of the dragon that day. Who carved the sea stone chair from the great oily stone on the beaches of the Iron Islands is a mystery lost to time, just as the source of the stone itself. However, perhaps further evidence of dragons in Westeros is seen at the base of the High Tower, which is a huge slab of black stone with passageways and tunnels. Most agree this seems to be fused stone, like what we see in old Valyrian construction, as there are no cracks or seams, just one solid piece of stone. The base of the High Tower is more known for being fused black stone rather than carved oily black stone like the sea stone chair. However, could it possibly be something else entirely? Old Valyria is known for its unique construction, which was rarely seen after the Doom. What is notable about their architecture is how, using dragon fire, they were able to fuse stone together seamlessly into solid pieces. Now, when Aegon the Conqueror and Balerion torched Harrenhal, the dragon's fires burned so hot that they melted the great stone castle into twisted, mutilated towers that no human could withstand. Who could possibly work such dangerous, hot stone? Well, perhaps there's another answer here, which could explain the similarities between the base of the High Tower and the sea stone chair. Is it possible that the dragon egg afterbirth becomes a more malleable substance when it is heated, and that it may have been used in ancient Valyrian construction? Could this be something that may just require the heat of dragon fire to set, like molded clay requires a kiln? Is this the secret to the famed Valyrian architecture? We see Daemon able to handle the rocky substance after cracking through the hardened outer layer. So perhaps this is the substance used for many other amazing things, such as the infamously detailed Valyrian architecture and culture. The possibilities are endless here, but imagining the Valyrians working in tandem with their dragons in birthing their great civilization is something so magical. This whole story structure seems to be commentary on the Babylonian creation myth of the great Earth Mother dragon Tiamat, the Shining One, who took the form of a great sea dragon and was slain by the storm god Marduk. From Tiamat's body came the first dragons, and so we begin to find a parallel to Naga through this. What is even more fascinating to consider about this is that if the sea stone chair, once a black incubating mass that comes from Naga herself, whose body was slain so very nearby, then are the Ironborn actually sitting upon a throne of dragon civilization in Westeros? Did Aegon the Conqueror know this when he sought out the Ironborn in their massive stone castle? Was it always the goal of Aegon to conquer this cradle of dragon culture to ensure that the Targaryens were, in fact, the only of their kind in Westeros? And do the modern Ironborn know the power of the sea stone chair upon which they sit? I'm starting to think that Euron does, and that explains many of his actions and motivations in A Song of Ice and Fire. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Do you think the sea stone chair could actually be the hardened incubating mass from dragon eggs, perhaps even Naga's eggs herself? And have we discovered the secrets of the birth of Valyrian civilization through this life-giving substance? Or is it just dragon poop? Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos on House of the Dragon and so much more. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!